Okay. Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
I can put your argument in the chat. I'm interested in discussing like premise one.
What does you think premise one is? Because there's a lot of false views of my argument out there.
Um, well, premise one, I think it's just like if no necessary thing is logically possible, and the set of all contingent states can possibly have an external explanation. That's just like the way you rendered it, right? Render
No.
it, sorry.
No. I'll explicate it. So
Okay.
premise one is saying if no necessary thing is possible, and if possibly there existed a set of contingencies, then it couldn't have an external explanation.
By possible, do you mean like logical possibility?
Mm-hmm.
And what is meant by logical possibility?
That in at least one evaluation of propositions outputted is true.
Okay. Is God a proposition?
Is God the term itself?
Yeah.
I'm
Or it's
ag-
like the necessary thing, sorry.
I'm agnostic on the view. I don't know. You're asking me. Well, you could just say God.
Well, I can try to explain my reasoning, like why I'm asking it, right? You're saying that if no necessary thing is logically possible, right? Or possible, sorry, you're predicating logical possibility to the
Oh, I see
object of
what
the
you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
necessary
Yeah.
thing,
We
right?
we can just make that a proposition. Yeah.
But you think like the metaphysical referent God
God
is a
exists.
proposition
I don't
itself.
know. Well, I don't see why I would be committed to any metaphysical talk, given the modality was already fixed.
Well, I mean, I thought like this necessary being is like instantiated all possible worlds, right? Or like
It
the
depends
reference.
on what
Sorry,
you take instantiation to be.
I just take whatever you take it to be, bro.
But you
It's
don't
fine.
know what
Like,
I'll take it to be because, I mean, yeah.
sorry.
I mean, you don't know what I'll take it to be, so.
Well, I take it to be like the referent obtains in all possible worlds, and because the actual world is a possible world, it obtains in the actual world too, right?
But look, let's just say, if you take instantiation to be some mind independent notion, then I could justify that being instantiated in that regard. Um,
Well, I mean, we can discuss that later if you want, but like, I'm
later.
also interested, right, in like how you're predicating logical possibility, which is about propositions. So it's a metalogical property of propositions to
Yeah.
like objects. I'm just
Okay.
confused on that part,
And when
right?
you say objects, what about my argument commits me to that?
To objects?
Yeah.
No, I don't hold like any like not saying you're like a physicalist or anything, right? But
Well, I don't know
um,
why you're talking about physicalism. I'm just curious
well,
on
I'm just saying,
why you
well,
bringing up objects. You think that's when we say God exists, that's referring to something which is ontologically committing. In the sense you're speaking about, I'm just curious on the entailment relation, how you got there.
the entailment relation. Well, I think God is like an object, yeah.
Really? And is that
Yeah.
analytically true or synthetically verified or some other means?
That's I mean that's probably just analytic, I'd say. Like
Oh,
we're taking necessary.
it, it's true. Wait, what about the definition commits you to that?
Well, I mean, an object is just like a thing that's instantiated, presumably, right?
Is there
And
anything
your
which is not
argument
an object?
is using quantified modal logic, right?
I have a clarity
Or QML.
question.
So, oh yeah, sure.
Is there anything which is not an object?
Is there anything which is not an object?
Yeah.
Presumably, yeah.
Like what?
That's fine. Maybe like I don't know, like the law exclude the middle.
Okay,
That's like
can
I
the
think a
law
thing,
of
it's not an
excluded
object.
middle be necessary?
Most accounts would take it to be necessary, yeah.
Okay, and that doesn't commit you to something being ontic. I'm curious on,
No.
so I'm curious on how you got to my view and telling something ontic ought the mere fact we're referring to something which is necessary.
Well, like if you're using QML here, right, and you're like predicating like a thing,
If I'm using
that's just like an
what?
object, right? If you're using QML, quantified modal logic, it's like an extension of first order logic with modal operators.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like what you're using here, right? Or it's how you would represent it, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, prima facie, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's what's being said. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, so when you say that like X is something, right? Like X is like our object, right? You're saying X has property P.
Wait, do you think the law of excluded middle is an object?
No.
Okay, so now I'm not clear on why you think my view and
I
tells
mean,
the referent there to be an
I
object.
just don't know what it means for God to be a proposition, I guess.
Why not?
Like if you think he's a proposition.
Do you think the law of excluded middle is a proposition?
It can be, no, but it can be expressed propositionally.
Okay. And when it's expressed propositionally, is it an object?
It's an object. I
Is
mean,
it an object?
if you're a propositional realist, yeah, probably, but I don't think I take it to be the case that it would be, yeah. So no.
Okay. And I mean, look, let's just say that was the type of entity I'm referring to.
So you're referring to you just take God to be like a proposition? What? I'm sorry, I'm like maybe pretty lost here.
Well, so yeah, just take God to be.
Did you go over de re and de dicto
Can
distinction?
this fat bitch please shut up?
Fucking retard.
Yo, be quiet while they're debating. Calm down.
Thank you.
If you take God to be a proposition, I was
I'm
under the
like
presumption
trying my
that
best to track whatever the
God
fuck.
to be
this is.
like a metaphysically necessary being. He's also
No,
like eternal.
I mean,
sorry,
I'm not
necessary
even
being, he's
like,
eternal.
I don't even know, like, I'm not even like sympathetic to all this metaphysical talk, metaphysical
I'm sorry, that's why I
modalities.
said necessary, right? I kind of misspoke. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, but you gotta fix the modality when you say necessary.
Like God's like logically necessary. And
Right.
he's eternal, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's, So maybe I can try and like extricate or talk about my reasoning here, right? Because when you say that God is like logically possible or logically necessary, it has any like logical modal property, right? And you're saying all it means to be logically possible or have these properties, right, is how its outcome like in a truth table, right? So like God is logically possible if
Not in a truth table.
Can you shut up, yo? Like somebody mute this bitch, bro. This is why people
right.
do
So
it.
like
We're in the middle of a debate. What are you doing, fat ass bitch?
well, I'm just working off what Kylo has like said in the past. Maybe he's not committed to
I
that.
don't
Oh,
understand.
yeah, you're
Can we
right,
mute this
you're right.
pig?
He thinks that he can put truth
Yo,
tables
yo,
from
yo,
the
yo, yo.
So
Anyway,
Cork, we're in the middle of a
thank you.
debate. Can you shut up?
a poor
So
one.
Kylo like
Yo,
okay,
dude,
so,
hold on, boss. You don't hear somebody interrupting me? Why you keep trying to debate? Cork, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Go ahead.
okay, I can just continue. Do you want to like repeat anything or?
Yeah.
Okay. So like your definition of logical possibility is just that, and one evaluation, this thing or this proposition is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying God is logically possible, or you're predicating logical possibility to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what it would mean if like to say like God is true, right?
Okay, so let's just take the
And God
proposition.
is like a declarative, right?
Let's just take the
Presumably.
proposition God exists.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to like rewrite your argument to include that because that's what the current argument says.
Now, given that a necessary being is one which exists in all possible worlds, that's God exists is already encapsulated in the definition. I don't need to rewrite anything.
That's not what your argument says, though. Your argument
That's
says
analytically true. Given what do you
It's
mean?
not analytically.
Yo, wallahi. Why you?
your argument says
Hold on,
if
dude, Cork. We're in the middle of a
okay.
debate. Stop interrupting.
Yo, Clark, I'm gonna just put you on server mute till they're done.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, we could just look at I guess conclusion one. It's the most obvious. Like therefore, some necessary thing is possible.
Mm-hmm.
You're predicating logical possibility into a necessary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Necessary things aren't propositions, presumably.
I just
But you're predicating onto it.
okay.
It's
So
like
when we
they are
say a
propositions and they are
necessary being,
propositions. They work like a P and not P. So
when we say a necessary being, we're talking about that necessary being is a type of thing which be expressed propositionally. Not even can be, but is. And that's just reference is instantiating in all possible worlds eternally.
sorry. So what do you think a proposition is? I'm sorry.
I'll take a proposition to be some feature of a sentence which is like truth.
Well, I mean, that's a bit of like an unorthodox view. I think like a proposition is just like a declarative, which is either true or false, or it is truth apt, right?
What would be the symmetry breaker between what I said and what you said?
I don't even know what a symmetry breaker is, but you say it's a feature of a sentence.
What's the distinguishing feature?
You say it's a feature. I don't know what I'm supposed to answer there. Sorry.
I'm curious on.
I'm just pointing out it's a bit unorthodox because you seem to hold some unorthodox views, which may lead to like maybe like me confusing points or you confusing points, right? Of what I'm saying because I'm just working on like standard definitions. But I can like try and derive a contradiction for you if you want, like with C1 of your argument to try and like maybe like explain my point a bit more.
What would be the P and not P?
Yeah. So like, God is a proposition and God is not a proposition
And
because you're predicating logical possibility into God.
wait,
And under your purview, something is logically possible only if and only if in one evaluation it comes out as true.
what do I take
Only
God to be?
propositions are true. Just like a necessary thing. It's eternal. But you said earlier, I might take it to be a proposition, so
Right.
we're kind of like all over the place.
So nothing has changed. I'm not all over the place.
Well, I mean, is God a sentence? Like, is that like a sentence? Like God, just God.
God,
Look in the chat.
God is
Do
a
you think like
property.
this is like,
I can't see the chat, but when you use the term God, right?
is this like coherent? Like the right in the
I
chat.
just said I
real
can't
quick,
see the
please.
chat. I already said that.
Oh, okay. I can say it that like God is true. Is that like a coherent thing?
Well,
Doesn't
given
make any sense.
the definient, so yes, and I'll tell you why. Because when you say
Oh.
God is true, right, you're really
Yeah.
talking about the definitions there, something which exists in all possible worlds. Okay, there is something which exists in all possible worlds, right? Now, I don't see how that's, expression right there, you're not able to conceptualize that as being true or false. There is something which exists in all possible worlds that could be true or false. And God is what exists in all possible worlds. God is an entity, you could call it, right? A referent, which is instantiated.
Well, I can say like, well, okay. So if I say God exists is true, right? Then that's fine, right? But you're just saying God is
But
true. Like
what
when I
it
say
means to
God is
be
true.
a necessary being is that you exist in all possible worlds. So the existence talk is already baked into the semantics.
What? Hold on. I think I'm like really lost here. Could you mind like maybe like just re-explaining your kind of point here about maybe how God is a proposition,
Yeah,
how
given
God
the
is true, is
definitions.
coherent?
Look, well, I don't see why it would be incoherent, but we gotta talk about what you take coherency to be. But let's just take the term God. Now, that term God is one which encapsulates the proposition embedded in the definitions, one which exists in all possible worlds, eternal. That's propositional, and that's true of the definitions.
So God just refers to the proposition that God exists.
Yes, boss.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe you should clarify that in your argument, like with like a thing above it, or like a definition that says that, because
Okay.
I mean, like when you just say that like a necessary thing is logically possible, that's not immediately clear that what you're actually saying is that a necessary thing just refers to the proposition that God exists is true, right? Do you see the issue though there? Like,
well, I don't see the issue. I just see there's room for improvement given that I could make it better for people reading what's being said on my end. So my intention and the S tension is clear. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know. I don't even. You might be reading from Cork, the fat bitch, whatever she sent you. I would take that with a grain of salt, given it's probably like all tweaked up and.
Well, I'm not reading what Cork sent me. All we take logical possibility to be in logic is like, or in sorry, meta logic is that.
I thought you was talking about my argument.
I am talking about your argument. You're
you said, hold on. You said you should put the definitions above X, Y, Z. So I didn't know if she had sent you something, but I'm just saying.
No. She didn't send me anything. Just send me anything.
All right, but what's the objection to the argument, though?
Yeah, objects can't have the property of being logically possible, and then we had to clarify. It seems we had to like maybe say that actually what you mean by necessary thing just refers to the proposition that God exists.
But this doesn't seem like this is just a recapitulation, not an objection.
Well, I mean, you just like completely like redid the argument then, right?
I didn't redo shit. You, boss. We just got clarity on my intention of semantics, which you were unaware of, which is not bad. That's what you're supposed to do in the dialect. But don't act like I was all over the place changing shit up. I've been very concise and consistent.
Okay, well, in the argument, like this is just the argument, right? Even in the new one you wrote that I saw like in the chat debate room, that definition also isn't clarified.
No, so no one.
I saw one written.
Like, you didn't see me send shit. That's not from. I keep telling you, you didn't see me send none of that. That's from them. They don't know how they just put shit together. Okay, well, I'm just saying if that was yours, right, none of that actually clarifies the problem here, right? And that would just be like a clarification. I'm telling you, it's not you didn't see me send it.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like hypothetically, right, but obviously you didn't send it, I can say no, right? I'm just saying none of what like you've sent in your arguments
I didn't send anything.
Necessary thing just refers to our proposition, right?
Oh, we went over okay, so now that we got this clear, is there objections?
Well, yeah, the objection would just be the argument has to be like changed midway through. You need to rewrite things in the middle of it while we're debating, right? It's obviously like a problem. Right? It's always like an issue.
Nothing got changed. You want to go to closings? You want to conclude?
Well, we can discuss more things honestly too. Like I was also interested.
Let's
when you say like, I don't want to conclude, please. I have other questions.
Let's conclude.
I just asked one more question.
No, let's conclude, bro. Let's judge give verdict.
I just want one more question, please. I'm begging you.
Yo, judge.
I'm like fiending.
Yeah, judge give verdict.
Judge, don't make me do it, please, Judge. I just want to.
I'm forcing to conclude, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, conclusions is fine, but let him ask his last question.
He can ask it. Okay. I don't see why I'm not going to answer. I'm ready for your verdict.
Do you want to give your conclusion first, or should I give mine?
I can go first. Sure. So basically, like in the discussion, my interlocutor didn't object to any of. He didn't object to any of the premises. He simply asked clarity questions. But in a debate, you wanna as long as the affirmation gives their argument, they're willing to justify claims. You know, the personal negation should be levying critiques in a manner where it shows the argument to be false or no reason to accept it. But given all my interlocutor did was ask clarity questions, which were resolved, and levy no objections to the premises, no defeaters to the argument, and I laid out the argument, was willing to substantiate each claim, that's going to obviously be evidence in favor of me winning the discussion. Simple. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. I'd just like to thank my interlocutor and all the people coming for watching this debate. I was very excited for it. I'm on my phone right now. I'm just like grinning ear to ear. I want to briefly go over the fact that I do believe I won, given that he had to, essentially when I posted the argument in the chat, he had to like basically rewrite the argument such that necessary thing refers to actually a proposition and not to like an entity or object. Obviously, as we know in debate conduct, guys, we cannot just rewrite our arguments in the middle of the debate. So I think that's obviously kind of bad. But my next question would be, because I hold the Socratic method of argumentation, that when you say something is logically possible, that just typically is said to be that it cannot be derived false within the given formal system. And if you can maybe extrapolate to me what formal system he's using, what its grammar and syntax is, what its axioms are, and what its rules of inference are, such that we can figure out whether or not this thing actually is logically possible, that'd be great. Thank you all for...
Yeah. So, well, there's a couple things I want to address. First of all, I do think whoever was taking the negation, I don't know his name, but I do think he was kind of attacking the wrong things. He was more so just attacking maybe the syntax of the argument, and in addition to that, maybe how the argument was written. I think he kind of took Kylo's utterance blunder and like drove it into a wall where he said like God is a proposition, and then I think Kylo kind of explained what he meant there, but then again, I don't think the objection was that great. That being said, though, there was a contradiction when Kylo did say, "Well, yeah, God's a proposition," and then sorry, God's not a proposition.
I didn't say he wasn't
Well,
a proposition.
You said it wasn't, and then you said it was.
We
But
gotta let the judge talk, Kylo. We can't.
That's fine.
Shut the
That's a
judge.
lie.
so, as I was saying, if we're taking the proposition, quote, God, or the word God is a proposition, unquote, and then, well, quote, the word God isn't a proposition, unquote, then yeah, it's a contradiction. And I recall Kylo saying that, well, if Kylo didn't say that, then sure, we could say that Kylo won the debate, but I'm pretty sure he did. And so I'd give it to, who was it, Beastwerf, whoever it was, because there was a contradiction there.
Wait,
But I do think,
Logic,
but
do you
wait,
do you want to play back the rec?
just hold on, just hold on.
You're
Just so we're clear,
you think I said it was
wait,
not a proposition?
Wait,
Wait,
we can't.
wait.
Kylo, calm down. We can't attack the judge. We have to accept it without any interference, right? You chose him, okay? And this is unfortunately how it goes. The judge's word is final. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Wait, hold on. And just so we're clear, I do think that was a really retarded objection, and if you want to talk about that,
Hold on. So just to be clear, the judge said, if I never said that, I won. If I did, you won. So all that matters is whenever people are listening back to the rec, if they don't ever hear me saying God is not a proposition. So just to be clear, if I ever said God is not a proposition, I'll lose the debate. And if it's the case that I never said that, I win the debate. Those are the conditions the judge laid out. And logic for you, I don't know, nigga, if you been speeding, nigga. I don't know how the fuck you heard me say that, nigga. But anyways, with that being said, the conditions are up there. So we'll let the audience and the listeners decide. Simple. GG's.